Captain Ethan Blake's starship glided silently through the darkness of space. The galaxy stretched endlessly before him, a tapestry of sparkling stars and distant planets. Ethan had been on many missions before, but this one was different. A faint distress signal had reached Earth Command, coming from a remote, uncharted system. No human had ever been sent here before. His mission was simple on paper: investigate, collect data, and report back. In reality, he knew, nothing in the galaxy was ever simple. The planet below was small but strange, its surface shimmering with colors that shifted like liquid. Ethan's ship descended slowly, scanning for life forms. The readings were unusual. There were structures, clearly intelligent, but their energy signatures were unlike anything humans had cataloged. The colony seemed peaceful at first glance, almost too peaceful. As the landing ramp extended, Ethan's heart pounded. His instincts told him this mission would not be ordinary. He stepped onto the ground, feeling a strange warmth radiating from the planet. The air was breathable, surprisingly familiar, but carried a faint sweetness, like a mixture of flowers and metal. It made his head spin slightly. From the shadows of a nearby structure, a figure watched him. Liara, a tall alien with luminous blue skin, observed him carefully. Her long, slender fingers tightened around the railing of the balcony she stood on. She had been expecting visitors, but never like this. Humans were supposed to be far away, constrained by their home systems. And yet, here he was, walking toward them with confident, measured steps. Liara shivered. She had spent years protecting the secret of her colony, a truth so fragile that even a hint of exposure could bring disaster. Humans were clever, unpredictable, and their minds worked in ways her species could barely understand. She had to act quickly, calmly, carefully. "Welcome to Nithara," she said aloud, her voice smooth but carrying an edge of tension. It was the formal greeting she always gave to outsiders. Ethan paused, tilting his head slightly, noticing the faint tremor in her tone. "I'm Captain Ethan Blake," he replied, voice steady. "I received a signal from this planet. I thought someone might need help." Liara's eyes widened slightly. How had he intercepted that signal? It had been carefully hidden, encoded in layers of alien protocols. Yet here he was, and he was human. She quickly adjusted her expression to neutrality. "I am Liara, head of research here," she said. "We have no distress. Perhaps your instruments misread something." Ethan raised an eyebrow but did not press. He looked around at the shimmering structures, the delicate lights running across the walls, and the gardens that seemed to glow from within. "Interesting place," he said. "I've never seen architecture like this. It feels alive." Liara held her breath. The human's observation was too sharp, too precise. He could see more than most aliens could. He would notice inconsistencies. He would notice the secret. She led him into the central chamber, a vast hall that shimmered, as if built from liquid crystal. Ethan walked carefully, taking in the details. The floor reflected the ceiling above, which was a web of glowing patterns that moved slowly, almost like a breathing organism. The walls hummed softly, responding to his presence. He felt a strange connection, as though the planet itself was aware of him. "This is their technology?" Ethan asked, gesturing toward the walls. Liara nodded, keeping her tone casual. "Yes. Our colony is designed to harmonize with the planet. It grows and adapts. Everything you see is alive in its own way." Ethan knelt to touch the floor. The surface shifted slightly under his fingers, a warm ripple that spread outward like a gentle wave. He smiled. "Incredible. It's like it's listening." Liara's heart skipped a beat. He was right. The colony was alive, but its life was tied to a secret humans were not meant to know. She had to keep him from discovering too much too quickly. "Perhaps I should show you the research labs," she said, guiding him along a corridor filled with softly glowing panels and floating holograms. "You might find our work interesting." Ethan followed eagerly, curiosity lighting up his features. He always loved discovering new civilizations, new knowledge. His eyes scanned everything, noting details, asking questions, observing patterns. Liara kept answering, carefully steering him away from areas she knew were dangerous to reveal. As they walked, Ethan noticed small things that made him pause. "These tools, they're not quite alien," he said thoughtfully. "Some of the designs, they remind me of Earth technology. Are you sure no humans were involved?" Liara froze, just for a moment, her mind racing. She could not admit the truth. Humans had unknowingly contributed to her people's ancestry, a link hidden for centuries. "No," she said quickly. "We've developed all this ourselves. Coincidence, perhaps?" Ethan smiled faintly, not entirely convinced. "Maybe," he said. But his eyes sparkled with curiosity. He was too intelligent, too perceptive to accept vague answers. They entered a larger chamber at the heart of the colony. It was a laboratory filled with delicate instruments, glowing containers, and floating holographic maps of the galaxy. Ethan's eyes widened. "This is incredible! You've mapped systems that even Earth Command hasn't charted." Liara nodded, trying to maintain her composure. "We study the galaxy to understand life itself," she said. Ethan moved closer to a holographic map. His fingers traced a system far from here. "And these systems, there's energy here that shouldn't exist naturally. Are you harvesting it?" Liara's shiver returned. He was asking questions that no outsider should know to ask. She had to think fast. "It's a natural phenomenon," she said. "We only observe it. Interference could be dangerous." Ethan's gaze was intense. "Observation is still knowledge, and knowledge can be powerful." She nodded, her mind spinning. His words were harmless on the surface, but the implication was clear. He could unlock truths her people had hidden for generations. Just then, a minor alarm sounded from one of the side labs. A containment field flickered, and an energy surge threatened to escape. Without thinking, Liara rushed forward, her hands moving over the controls. Ethan followed instinctively, helping her stabilize the field with quick, precise movements. "You're fast," Liara said, impressed despite herself. "I've had practice," Ethan said with a small smile. "Humans adapt quickly when things get dangerous." The incident passed, leaving only a soft hum in the lab. Liara realized something important. Humans weren't just clever, they were brave. They could act decisively under pressure. Her people had underestimated them for centuries. When the room settled, Ethan looked around. "You're hiding something," he said quietly, his tone friendly but insistent. "I can feel it. There's more to this colony than you're letting on." Liara's heart pounded. She had hoped he wouldn't sense it yet. "We guard some knowledge to protect the colony," she said carefully. "Not all questions can be answered immediately." Ethan nodded, but his eyes shone with determination. "I understand. But I have a way of discovering what I need to know. I mean no harm. I just want to understand." Her shiver returned, stronger this time. The secret she had protected for so long was in danger. But something in Ethan's demeanor told her he was different from other humans. Different from any species she had encountered. He was respectful, intelligent, and resourceful. Perhaps he could help. As the sun of Nithera dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in shades of violet and gold, Ethan looked out at the glowing city. "This planet, it's alive, isn't it?" he said softly. Liara nodded. "It is. And it watches everything." Ethan smiled faintly. "Then it saw me coming and let me in." Liara felt a strange warmth. She realized that perhaps the human before her was not a threat in the usual sense. He might be the key to a future she had not yet imagined, and yet she had to be careful. The secret could not be revealed too soon, not until she understood his intentions fully. That night, Ethan slept in quarters prepared for him, but his mind was alive with questions. He had never felt this way before, excited, curious, and cautious all at once. He knew he had discovered something extraordinary, something beyond Earth's understanding. Liara, meanwhile, watched him from a distance, her mind racing. The human had arrived, and the secret was exposed. Not fully, but enough to set events in motion. She shivered again, this time not from fear, but from anticipation. The galaxy was about to change, and humans, she realized, would play a role far greater than anyone had expected. Outside, the lights of the colony shimmered like stars come down to rest, and the planet seemed to pulse gently, as if acknowledging the arrival of this remarkable human. And so began the encounter that would change both their worlds forever. The next morning, Captain Ethan Blake awoke to the soft hum of the alien colony. Light filtered through walls that shimmered like liquid glass, casting patterns on the floor that shifted with the movement of the sun. He sat up in the bed, stretching his arms, and looked around. Everything felt different, alive, almost aware of his presence. He remembered the events of the previous day, the shimmer of the planet, the strange architecture, and most of all, Liara's shiver when he arrived. Something was hidden here, and his instincts told him it was important. He had faced dangerous missions before, but there was a new intensity to this one. Liara was waiting outside his quarters, standing with the calm composure of someone used to authority. Her luminous blue skin reflected the morning light. Today she seemed slightly less tense, though her eyes still held the caution of a seasoned protector. "Good morning, Captain," she said. "I hope you slept well. There is much to see today." "I slept well enough," Ethan replied, getting to his feet. "I want to understand more about your colony. Your technology. It's like nothing I've seen." Liara nodded, guiding him along a corridor lined with holographic displays. Each display projected scenes of alien worlds, stars, and strange energy patterns. Ethan's eyes widened with interest. "This is our study area," Liara said. "We monitor the galaxy for unusual activity. Our mission is to understand life, protect the planet, and ensure harmony in this region." Ethan's gaze flicked to one of the holograms. A particular energy signature caught his attention, a series of pulses moving through a sector of space. "What is this?" he asked. Liara's pulse quickened. This was a part of the secret she had tried to protect. "It is a natural energy field," she said carefully. "Nothing harmful, only research." Ethan tilted his head. Humans had a way of noticing inconsistencies, and he could feel that her answer was incomplete. "It looks almost artificial," he said, "like someone built it but also let it grow naturally." Liara froze for a fraction of a second. She realized she needed to be cautious. "You are very observant, Captain," she said. "Yes, it is. Influenced by intelligent design. But only to maintain balance. Interfering could be dangerous." Ethan nodded slowly. "I see. Balance. That makes sense." Despite the careful words, Ethan's curiosity was only growing. He had always been good at connecting the dots, even when the pieces were hidden. He could feel that the aliens' work was more than it seemed, and he was right. As they walked deeper into the colony, Liara showed him laboratories filled with devices that hovered in midair, glowing softly. Each device seemed to respond to thought, adjusting its position, brightness, and function as if alive. Ethan reached out and touched one. A wave of energy passed through his fingers, not harmful, but startling. Your technology, it reacts to thought? He asked. Liara nodded. It is designed to harmonize with intelligence. It responds to intention and reasoning. But only those who understand its purpose can control it safely. Ethan's eyes sparkled. Humans were excellent at adapting to new technologies. He could feel that he would learn quickly. Then it's not just machines, he said. It's alive in a way. More than just energy. Liara shivered slightly. Humans had always been curious, but Ethan's intelligence was exceptional. He was already understanding parts of the colony that many aliens would never grasp. Suddenly, a soft alarm echoed through the chamber. A container on one of the tables began to pulse erratically. Liara's eyes widened. This was one of the hidden chambers containing critical data about the colony's secret, the truth about their origins and the connection to humans. Without thinking, Ethan stepped forward. "Do you need help?" he asked. Liara hesitated. Humans were strong and clever, but the secret was delicate. If something went wrong, exposure could be disastrous. Yet something about Ethan told her he could be trusted. She nodded. Working together, they stabilized the container. Ethan's hands moved with speed and precision, adjusting the alien controls based on instinct and logic. Liara watched, impressed despite herself. Humans were remarkable when it came to problem-solving under pressure. When the situation was under control, Ethan turned to her. "You're hiding something important," he said quietly. "I can feel it. I don't mean to interfere, but it's too advanced to be just research." Liara's shiver returned. She realized the human was already sensing the layers of secrecy she had carefully maintained. She needed to decide. Continue hiding, or trust him enough to reveal a fragment of the truth. "You are perceptive," she said slowly. "Yes, there is more, but it is dangerous to know too much, too soon." Ethan nodded. "I understand. But I also know that secrets like this can't stay hidden forever. Sometimes sharing knowledge can save lives." Liara considered his words. Humans were different from aliens. Their willingness to face danger and act decisively made them unpredictable, but also potentially invaluable. Perhaps she could reveal part of the truth without risking everything. She led him to a separate chamber, one that contained holographic projections of the galaxy, showing ancient maps and energy flows. "This is part of our secret," she said. "We have been monitoring energy fields across the galaxy. Some are natural, but others are connected to life forms we once thought were unrelated." Ethan leaned closer to the holograms. "These patterns, they seem familiar, like something humans might recognize. Are you saying humans?" Liara's shiver deepened. The connection was delicate. She had to explain carefully. "Yes, humans are connected to us in ways that have been forgotten over time. Long ago, your ancestors played a role in the development of our species." Ethan stepped back slightly, stunned. "You mean humans helped create your civilization?" Liara shook her head gently. "Not intentionally, but your existence influenced our evolution. We hid this knowledge to protect both our species. If others knew, they might try to use it or destroy it." Ethan's mind raced. The pieces were falling into place. Humans were not just observers in the galaxy, they were essential. They had qualities no other species possessed: adaptability, creativity, courage. And now, he understood why Liara had shivered when he arrived. He was human, and that alone made him extraordinary in ways her people had never fully acknowledged. "But why me?" Ethan asked. "Why now?" Liara hesitated. "You were chosen by circumstances. Your arrival was not random. The galaxy has patterns. Some energy fields respond to life forms like humans. You can understand, influence, and protect in ways we cannot." That is why you are here. Ethan felt a weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. Humans were clever, but he had never imagined that they might hold such a key to the galaxy's safety. Then my mission is bigger than I thought, he said softly. Yes, Liara replied, but it is also dangerous. There are forces in the galaxy that would use this knowledge for harm. You must be careful. Ethan nodded. I understand. I always do. For the next few hours, Liara and Ethan worked together to study the energy fields. She taught him how the colony monitored the galaxy, how their technology responded to thought, and how life itself shaped the universe in ways humans had barely begun to comprehend. Ethan absorbed everything, asking questions, making connections, and demonstrating the kind of insight that only humans could provide. By the time the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the colony in soft violet light, Ethan had pieced together much of the hidden truth. Humans were not ordinary. They were a force of balance in the galaxy. And now, Liara realized, she could not hide the truth any longer. He needed to know enough to act, but not everything, yet. As they left the lab, a subtle tension rippled through the colony. Other aliens had noticed Ethan's presence, and whispers began to circulate. Liara knew some would oppose revealing any part of the secret. Humans were unknown and unpredictable. But she also knew that Ethan was different. He could help her people, and perhaps even save the galaxy from threats that no one else could face. That night, as the stars glimmered above NetNarrator, Ethan stood on a balcony overlooking the glowing city. Liara joined him silently, watching him with cautious hope. You have a way of seeing things others cannot, she said softly. Ethan smiled faintly. I guess that's what humans do. We notice patterns, we solve problems, we survive. Liara nodded. And sometimes, we change the course of history without even knowing it. Perhaps your arrival was meant to do just that. Ethan looked at the shimmering horizon. Then we'll have to work together, carefully, but I promise I'll do everything I can to help. Liara felt a mixture of fear and hope. The secret of her colony was no longer completely hidden. But perhaps with humans like Ethan, the galaxy's future could be brighter than she had ever imagined. And as the night deepened, the colony pulsed softly beneath their feet, alive and aware, watching the human who had come to uncover the secrets of the stars. The colony of NetNarrator pulsed softly under the light of its twin suns, and Captain Ethan Blake felt the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. Since the morning, he had pieced together fragments of the truth, fragments that revealed humans were not just observers, but vital participants in a cosmic balance far greater than anyone on Earth could imagine. Liara walked beside him, her expression calm but tense. The decision to reveal the next layer of the colony's secret had not been easy. Other aliens in the colony might not understand, might resist, and might even see humans as a threat. But Ethan had proven his intelligence, courage, and integrity. She could trust him, enough to reveal more. Captain, Liara began, her voice measured, there is more you need to know. It is difficult to explain, but I will do my best. Ethan nodded, eager to learn, yet cautious. I'm ready, he said. Liara led him to a chamber unlike any other he had seen before. The walls were transparent, revealing the planet below. A massive crystalline structure floated in the center of the room, radiating energy that danced like ribbons of light. Ethan felt it immediately, a warmth that seemed to hum in resonance with his heartbeat. This structure is called the Heart of NetNarrator, Liara explained. It is the source of our energy, our technology, and our knowledge. It maintains harmony across the colony and the surrounding systems. But it is fragile, and it is connected to humans. Ethan stepped closer, eyes wide. Connected? How? Liara's voice lowered. Long ago, your ancestors, humans, shared a genetic link with our people. You influenced the evolution of our species, unknowingly shaping our abilities and technology. The heart responds to humans. You are uniquely able to interface with it. Ethan's mind raced. Humans had always prided themselves on adaptability, creativity, and problem-solving. But to learn that his species was central to the survival of an alien civilization, and possibly the galaxy itself, was overwhelming. "Why is this a secret?" he asked softly. Liara's gaze dropped. "Because others would exploit it. Our technology, our energy, and our connection could be used to dominate or to destroy. We have kept it hidden to protect both our species and yours." Ethan took a deep breath. "So, I'm here to help protect it, to understand it, to prevent misuse." Liara nodded. "Yes, but it will not be easy. Not everyone in the colony agrees with sharing this knowledge. Some believe humans should never touch the heart. Others fear that revealing our connection will attract enemies." Before Ethan could respond, the chamber trembled. A soft but alarming vibration ran through the floor. The heart pulsed faster, light rippling outward, illuminating the walls with urgent patterns. "What's happening?" Ethan asked. Liara's expression was grave. "It is reacting to the presence of energy beyond our understanding. Something approaches, a force capable of disrupting the heart. If it reaches us, the colony, and the galaxy, could be at risk." Ethan's mind sharpened immediately. Danger had arrived, and humans were trained to act decisively. "Show me," he said. "Tell me what we can do." Liara hesitated, then moved to a control panel. Holographic projections flickered to life, showing a massive energy anomaly moving through space, heading straight for Nithara. Ethan studied the patterns, his human intuition working quickly. "It's massive," he said, "but there are weaknesses. There are points where it can be slowed, redirected." Liara's eyes widened. "You can see it?" Ethan nodded. "Humans have a way of seeing patterns even in chaos. Give me access." Liara stepped aside. Ethan's hands flew over the controls, instinctively understanding the alien interface. He aligned energy flows, stabilized the heart's resonance, and created barriers to shield the colony. The light ribbons responded to him, bending and pulsing in harmony with his thoughts. Liara watched, amazed. Humans were clever. Humans were brave. But more than that, they were unique. The heart had chosen wisely. Hours passed as Ethan and Liara worked together, coordinating the colony's defenses. The energy anomaly drew closer, a swirling mass of destructive power. Liara had never seen anyone interface with the heart so fluidly. She realized that humans could do more than protect. They could enhance its capabilities, guide its energy with precision her species could not. Finally, as the anomaly neared the planet, Ethan implemented a final strategy. He aligned the heart's energy with the anomaly's rhythm, creating a counterwave that slowed its advance. The force faltered, wobbling like a ship caught in a storm. Liara held her breath. The colony's survival hung on this moment. With one final adjustment, Ethan channeled the heart's energy through a network of satellites and energy relays. The anomaly dissipated into harmless pulses, drifting into space without causing damage. The chamber was quiet. The heart pulsed steadily again, calm, stable. Liara exhaled, relief flooding her. "You did it," she said softly. Ethan turned to her, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it. Together." For a moment, the two stood in silence, watching the heart glow steadily. Then Liara spoke, her tone serious. "Captain, you must understand. Your role here is not temporary. Humans are not only capable of understanding the heart, but essential for its protection. The galaxy may require your species to step forward more than once." Ethan nodded slowly. The responsibility was enormous, but he felt ready. Humans had always risen to challenges, and this was perhaps the greatest challenge yet. But their relief was short-lived. A group of aliens entered the chamber, their expressions cold and wary. They had noticed Ethan's presence, and not all were convinced he was trustworthy. "You've revealed too much, Liara," one of them said sharply. "Humans cannot be allowed to touch the heart." "This is forbidden." Liara stepped forward, standing between the group and Ethan. "This human is different. He has proven himself. He saved the colony. Without him, the heart could have been destroyed." Another alien sneered. "He is still an outsider. He does not belong here. How can we trust him?" Ethan spoke calmly, his voice steady. "I may be an outsider, but I am here to help. I will not harm your colony or your people. I only want to protect what is important to all of us. I can work with you, not against you." The tension was palpable. The Alien Council argued, some insisting on immediate containment of Ethan, others reluctantly acknowledging his role in saving the colony. Liara's influence, combined with the undeniable proof of his actions, gradually swayed the debate. Finally, the head of the council spoke. "Very well. He may stay, but under strict observation. Any misstep, and he will be removed." Ethan bowed slightly, accepting the terms. He understood their caution. Trust had to be earned, and he was willing to prove himself. As the council left, Liara turned to him. "You have not only saved the colony, but also begun to change minds. Humans are no longer merely visitors. They are vital partners." Ethan smiled faintly. "Then we keep working together, carefully, step by step." That night, Ethan and Liara returned to the observation deck overlooking the glowing city. Stars twinkled above, but the galaxy beyond held dangers yet unseen. Ethan realized that while this threat had passed, others would come. And humans, he understood, would play a central role in meeting them. Liara placed a hand gently on his arm. "You have proven yourself, Captain. But the full truth, the real secret of the heart, must still remain protected. There are forces in the galaxy who would destroy everything if they knew. Even you must not yet know everything." Ethan nodded, trusting her judgment. "I understand. But when the time comes, I will be ready." Liara smiled faintly, a mixture of pride and caution in her eyes. Humans were extraordinary, capable of courage, intelligence, and insight beyond anything her species had encountered. And she realized that the galaxy's future might depend on them more than she had ever imagined. For the first time, Ethan felt a true connection to a civilization beyond Earth. He was no longer a visitor. He was part of something greater, a shared purpose that linked humans and aliens across the stars, and he knew that when the next challenge came, they would face it together. Outside, the heart of Nithara pulsed steadily, as if acknowledging the arrival of the human who had begun to unlock its mysteries. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of unknowns. But for the first time, Ethan understood that humans were not ordinary. They were extraordinary, and the stars seemed to shine a little brighter in recognition. The twin suns of Nithara dipped low on the horizon, casting long shadows over the glowing city. Captain Ethan Blake stood on the observation deck, watching the vibrant colors shift across the alien skyline. He had never felt so alive, so aware of the weight of responsibility that came with being human in a galaxy where humans were more than ordinary. Liara joined him, her luminous blue skin reflecting the fading light. "The heart is stable again," she said. "The anomaly has passed, but we must remain vigilant. There are other forces that may threaten us." Ethan nodded. "I understand, but today showed me something important. Humans aren't just observers. We can act, we can protect, and we can work with your people to face whatever comes next." Liara smiled faintly. "You speak wisely. Humans are remarkable, perhaps more remarkable than we realized. The calm of the evening was suddenly broken by a sharp alarm. Red lights flashed across the city and the soft hum of the heart quickened. Ethan's instincts kicked in immediately. "What is it?" he demanded. Liara's expression tightened. "Another energy surge. This one is different. It is deliberate. Someone is trying to breach the heart from outside." Ethan's mind sharpened. This was no natural phenomenon. This was an attack. He followed Liara into the central chamber, where the heart pulsed like a living crystal. Holographic displays showed a fleet of unknown ships approaching Nithara at incredible speed. "They're armed," Liara said grimly. "If they reach the heart, they will destroy the colony." Ethan's eyes narrowed. Humans had faced impossible odds before, but this was different. It was a galaxy-wide threat, and the lives of countless beings depended on their actions. "We have to stop them. Together." Liara nodded. "We will. But we must be careful. The heart cannot be exposed to direct attack. Its energy must remain stable." Ethan quickly assessed the situation. Using his understanding of patterns, strategy, and human ingenuity, he proposed a plan. "We can use the heart's energy to create a defensive barrier around the colony," he explained. "It will slow them down long enough for us to neutralize the threat. I'll need your help to coordinate it with your systems." Liara's eyes widened in surprise. Humans had always been clever, but his insight into the heart's potential was extraordinary. "It is risky," she said, "but I trust you." They worked quickly, moving through the chambers as Ethan synchronized the colony's technology with the heart's energy. The floating holograms shimmered, the walls pulsed, and the very air seemed to vibrate with anticipation. Liara and her team followed Ethan's instructions with precision, amazed at his ability to adapt to alien technology almost instantly. Outside, the attacking fleet drew closer, their weapons glowing with destructive energy. Ethan felt a thrill of determination. Humans had always risen to challenges, and this was perhaps the greatest test yet. "Now," Ethan said, signaling Liara. The heart pulsed with immense power, sending waves of energy outward. Shields of shimmering light surrounded the colony, forming a protective dome that deflected the incoming attacks. The alien ships fired relentlessly, but the energy waves absorbed and redirected the blasts, neutralizing them without harming the planet. Liara watched, her heart pounding. Ethan's plan was working. Humans were not just clever, they were essential. His presence had changed the balance of power in a way no one could have predicted. But the enemy adapted. Smaller ships attempted to breach the defenses, looking for weak points. Ethan quickly analyzed their patterns and predicted their moves, directing the heart's energy to intercept them. Each adjustment was precise. Every action calculated with the intuition only a human could bring. Hours passed in a blur of energy, strategy, and coordination. The attackers were relentless, but the combined efforts of Ethan and the Nitharan scientists held them at bay. Slowly, the alien fleet began to falter. Their formations broke apart, their energy weapons misfiring against the unexpected tactics of the humans and Nitharans working together. Finally, with one coordinated surge of the heart's energy, the remaining ships were driven back into deep space. The skies above Nithara cleared, and the colony's lights shimmered with relief. Ethan collapsed into a chair, exhausted but triumphant. Liara approached, her eyes filled with awe and respect. "You have done it, Captain. You have saved the colony." Ethan smiled faintly. "We did it, together. Humans, Nitharans, all of us." The council of the colony gathered shortly afterward, their expressions a mixture of relief and newfound respect. The initial opposition to Ethan's presence had softened. His bravery, intelligence, and leadership had proven humans were not only capable, but indispensable allies. "You have earned our trust," the council head said. "Humans are no longer outsiders. You are part of our efforts to protect the heart and maintain harmony in the galaxy." Ethan nodded, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. He had always believed in the potential of humans, but now he saw it recognized across the stars. "I will not betray your trust," he said. "We will face whatever comes together." Liara stepped forward, placing a hand gently on his arm. "There will be more challenges, Captain. The galaxy is vast, and not all are as peaceful as we. But with humans and Nitharans working together, perhaps we can face them and protect life itself." Ethan looked out at the horizon, where the twin suns dipped below the glowing landscape. "Then we will prepare. We will learn, adapt, and grow stronger. That is what humans do." Over the following days, Ethan worked with the Nitharan scientists to strengthen the colony's defenses and enhance the heart's capabilities. He studied the alien technology, understanding its principles and finding ways to integrate human ingenuity. Liara guided him carefully, revealing more of the colony's secrets while maintaining the protections necessary to prevent misuse. The bond between humans and Nitharans grew stronger. Ethan's presence inspired others, showing them that collaboration between species was not only possible but essential. Even the council members who had initially opposed him began to see humans in a new light, as partners, protectors, and friends. One evening, as the sky turned a deep violet, Liara and Ethan stood on the observation deck once again. The city below glowed softly, a living testament to their combined efforts. "You have changed everything," Liara said softly. "Your arrival, it has altered the course of the colony's future, and perhaps the galaxy itself." Ethan smiled. "I didn't do it alone. Your people welcomed me, guided me, and trusted me. Humans and Nitharans together. That is what made the difference." Liara nodded, her eyes reflecting the light of the city. "I shivered when you arrived, Captain. I feared the secret would be exposed. But now, I see that your presence was meant to bring balance. Humans are extraordinary, and the galaxy will need you more than ever." Ethan felt a swell of pride and responsibility. He had discovered the vast potential of humans, not just on Earth, but among the stars. And he knew that this was only the beginning. As the twin moons of Nithara rose in the sky, casting silvery light across the shimmering structures, Ethan made a silent promise. He would protect the heart, the colony, and the galaxy. He would honor the trust placed in him, and he would prove that humans were not just ordinary. They were capable of extraordinary deeds. In the days that followed, preparations continued for future challenges. Humans and Nitharans worked side by side, sharing knowledge, developing new strategies, and exploring the deeper mysteries of the heart. Ethan found joy in the collaboration, marveling at the ways in which human creativity complemented alien technology. Liara observed him often, her respect growing with each passing day. Humans were adaptable, courageous, and insightful. They had the ability to change the course of events in ways her species had never imagined. And now, she realized, the galaxy's future might depend on them more than ever. One evening, Ethan stood alone on a balcony, gazing at the stars. The heart pulsed faintly below, a reminder of the power they had protected together. He thought of Earth, of his home, and of the responsibility that now rested on humans across the galaxy. The path ahead would be challenging, but he was ready. Humans had always risen to challenges, and this was the greatest challenge yet. Liara joined him silently, standing beside him as they watched the stars together. "The galaxy is vast," she said softly, "but now we are not alone, humans and Nitharans. Together, we will face whatever comes." Ethan nodded. Together, he agreed. And as the twin moons of Nithara bathed the colony in gentle light, the heart pulsed steadily, alive and aware, recognizing the human who had arrived not as a stranger, but as a guardian. The galaxy was still full of mysteries, dangers, and wonders, but for the first time, humans had found their place among the stars, proving that courage, intelligence, and collaboration could change the fate of worlds. The colony of Nithara, once hidden and secretive, now stood united, and humanity had become an essential part of its future. The adventure was far from over, but for now, the stars seemed to shine brighter, reflecting the promise of new beginnings. Captain Ethan Blake smiled faintly. The galaxy was wide, and the journey had only just begun.